This is not good. This is not good, guys, at all. We're in like stage 5 full alarm crisis mode right now.
Are you aware of what a snafu is?
It's time to make Bosstown Dynamics 2. We're gonna figure out how we're actually gonna make this. Boston Dynamics is being funded by DARPA, so it's no secret. These aren't necessarily just innocent walking robots. Like, there is potentially this purpose here for these robots to be combatants in the military. What is the military testing version of Boston Dynamics look like?
They're probably doing this. They're probably messing with this stuff. What Boston Dynamics doesn't want you to know.
Area 51! Area 51! The biggest takeaway I think people got from the first one was the emotional connection to this robot that is getting beat. People just don't like seeing that. At the same time, it's kind of the big source of our comedy here, is this ridiculous level of bullying.
It definitely takes it up to the next level.
Yeah.
In every way.
So, here we go.
They released bees.
Wait, I want bees!
Wait, how do we do bees?
No? There's so many great little things that we could do.
Okay, bees is perfect.
Last time we shot Boston Dynamics, it was in the studio in a controlled environment with good internet. Now for this next one, it's gonna be on a private gun range. We won't have internet. We'll have to bring our own generators for power. So right now I'm tasked with creating a mobile field mocap setup. And we can't film this video unless I figure that out. The technology, it's working. Okay, the ultimate test, we're going outside.
Wait, do we need this?
No.
Hey, don't drop that.
It's about 15,000.
Subscribe. Watch out for the pee. Oh my god, you're right in it, dude. You just stepped right in the pee.
Get out of the table! Yeah, it's on. I think it's loading. Any minute now. Careful, careful!
Looks like some kind of ritual now. It's not working?
Not yet.
Clint, why isn't this working, man?
If this doesn't work, you're not going to be able to make this video.
I know. Oh, guys! It's working!
It's working!
Look at there! I have to calibrate it! I have to calibrate it! Hold on, hold on.
Releasing.
Are we live? We're live. Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Can you do a little jig? Yeah, it's working. Guys, now we can film Boston Dynamics too.
Yeah, everything's got a pocket full of shells.
Yeah. And then Nico's, one thing I want to do. And so you're not allowed Nico to see.
2 or 3 in Sam's pocket, 1 in Ren's pocket.
Yeah. Quite a bit. Let's do it again. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
Can somebody give me a 3?
We got a lot of eggs right now.
So everyone's out at the Bosstown 2 shoot. I'm just following along on social media to check in on their status. Looks like everything went smooth though. I'm kind of jealous of their ride right now. Yeah, I'm glad it went well.
This is not good.
It's not good, boys.
This is not good. Can I show you real quick? Can I just show you something?
Yeah.
Tell me what's wrong with this. We filmed Boston Dynamics 2.
We spent a full day out in the desert.
Getting beat, getting dirt kicked up my nose. Take a look at these files, right? These are the motion capture files. 1246 and 507. So there's this giant gap.
We just spent the last hour trying to figure out where that motion capture footage went, and I think we have concluded that it is gone and missing.
But it's not like missing to be found. It's disappeared.
It's gone.
It's not coming back.
Basically how it works is that we roll on the camera, the red camera we're using, and then we also roll on the motion capture so that later we could sync it up. That's the entire idea behind the shoot. But we think what was happening is that every time they were saving the motion capture data, it was resaving over a previous file, over and over and over again for 4.5 hours. Can we just redo the motion capture here in the studio? Right. And the short answer is no, we can't. It's like the footage and the motion capture data have to go hand in hand.
So you're telling me all of this comes down to hitting save rather than save as?
It's the only thing that legitimately makes sense.
That's our best theory.
That's a hell of a puzzle.
They don't want to start pointing fingers, but I'm just going to throw out a few suggestions. There's some people that had dealt with this data, so let's look at who dealt with the data. Sam Gorski was responsible for overseeing the data transfer. He started it and left and didn't stick around to verify whether or not it got done until the next day.
Yes, I see your point.
Peter France, lovely guy, you've seen it, you've all seen him, also has a problem with data.
Peter was responsible for capturing the motion capture. That was his job for the day.
It's happened in the past. He lost an entire day of footage. Now, I'm not saying it was Colonel Mustard in the billiards room with the candlestick.
That's probably it.
This is bad, man. And we will need to go and reshoot 4 giant sequences of events that require us to film and then to mocap, and it's gonna take another full day.
Anytime we hit like these crazy hard roadblocks, I find myself having to come up here to the roof to just kind of like think about our patrons who support us on patreon.com. Just saying their names gives me the willpower to continue, because without them, we wouldn't be able to make the stuff that we do. Bailey Wilson, Dave Crooks, Harris Red Sapagic, Oscar Bunting, Philip Oxford, Alan Almanza, Noda Candad Ian Spy, Glitch Cube, Skinky Snack? Who is that? Brian Antozik, as well as all of our other patrons. Thank you. You know what? I think that worked. I feel much better now. I'm ready to tackle this. Let's go.
We got back out there, we reshot day 2. It was like half the shots in the whole short. Footage looks really nice, so that's good. But now we're behind schedule. We're really behind. And before we can hop into post, I gotta get this robot up and running. The Bosstown 1, you know, you got your standard bot. It's not that special. It's really not that special. A lot has changed since Bosstown 1. Our Bosstown boy grew up, grew some armor. Welcome to the new and improved Bosstown Dynamics robot. This is a military robot for testing weapons out in the desert. This guy is souped up and ready for battle. Different color scheme. You know, we're going military. Armor plating. If you look closely, there's a little hole in its chest there. Like it got hit with like a crowbar or maybe a bullet. We have a cod piece. Look at this thing, man. Completely different leg pieces here. We got our logo back here. Corridor Digital logo. Oh yeah, here's another thing that I did. I got like canvas straps around the back of the robot to hold it in place. But bam, look at these Petman hands. This is actually taken from the Boston Dynamics robot called Petman, and they actually designed it to wear military clothing and go out into areas to test the clothing. And then he has this sensor piece right here that actually swivels around. I think it looks awesome, and I'm very excited to see this thing in motion. This little guy. This is a 3D model of the real Spot dog. This is an actual real thing. Boston Dynamics actually is gonna be selling this thing. They just dropped a Spot release trailer. And that's great for me because I'm gonna watch that over and over and over and animate this dog to match the actual movement of the real Spot in that release trailer. He comes in at the end. Hopefully you guys watched to the end. Hopefully you guys watched the video. Go watch the video. It's great. It should be up right now. It might be a lie, I don't know. It should be up. So I've got the dog, I've got the military Bosstown robot connected to the mocap data. So now I'm gonna show the guys. jump off the side of the mountain.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And then, so there's a dog under there, like a robot dog, and they want me to shoot it.
Oh, you can't ever shoot a dog, man. I mean, the minute I ever see a movie where somebody shoots a dog or hurts a dog, that's it. Whoever shot the dog has got to die. No normal human being out there would ever want to see a dog mistreated, ever. I personally think the relationship between man and dog is like a real tight one and a real old one.
They're gonna love you no matter what.
You go down, you go get the mail. You walk back up, you just saw them 30 seconds ago. They're running around, they want to be, they want to go do something with you. It's like their whole job is they want to please you and get fed.
While he's like aiming his gun at it and deciding what he's gonna do, I can do two things. I can either have the robot dog be like kind of injured and like sad and crying, or it's happy and it's so excited to see his robot friend and he's like licking the gun and he's like thinks it's playing.
If I came up to my dog and I had a gun and I was pointing the gun at it, my dog would still be happy because it wouldn't believe that I was about ready to kill it.
I think that's even more sad. It's like the end of Mice and Men.
They're going to be going off on a new adventure. He has saved the dog. He's not willing to.
Now they're going into hiding. You do a third one where he's in this cabin and he's like scavenging for nuts and bolts and oil, and like he's trying to like feed his dog and he doesn't have enough food for himself, and you have all these scientists coming after, like looking for the robot. So the robot's been rendered out and it's looking really, really nice. So basically now we're in the process. We need to make sure it is blended in and it looks right. There's a lot of rotoscoping to be done here. A ton of rotoscoping. We're gonna have to like track in all of the actual gun plates that we filmed because we actually brought live firearms on set. But the biggest, most difficult part of this whole process is painting me out for every single one of these shots. Yeah, it's a painstaking process.
Creative team has overextended themselves trying to do too much in a video. It's October 22nd. We've been working on this video since the beginning of June.
There's this weird glitch going on that we can't seem to explain.
Basically, the footage is cursed. I've been working off of cursed footage for this whole thing. Everything goes back and references the cursed footage.
So usually when we work on a corridor video, we try to keep it contained 3 weeks, 4 weeks maximum. The first Bosstown Dynamics, I think this guy spent like 3 or 4 weeks on it, and it was kind of stressful, but they got it done. So here we are going on to week 7 of Bosstown 2. You know, from a time budget standpoint, all these other things that are happening in corridor that aren't this video, put things in a tough spot. This is the last week. It has to be done by this Saturday. It cannot go beyond this Saturday.
This is definitely a problem.
In After Effects, and in all editing programs really, there's this idea called nesting or pre-composing. So you got your footage. Bang, this is your footage, you got your robot. Bang, and you got your rotoscoping. Bang, these are 3 different layers. Put them together inside of a folder. Now, this folder is considered a single file again. So now I can take this and I can draw on it and it'll affect all 3 of these layers within it the same way. The problem that we're facing is that we're seeing this really intense glitch. I'm looking at a certain frame here, but anytime I go inside of it, these frames have been shifted to the left by 1 frame. So it's like, oh, why don't you just shift the frame forward? Well, when you do that, it has a ripple effect through all the other pre-comps, and now the roto layers are referencing the wrong frame. That shouldn't happen. This seems like the simplest of problems, and yet somehow we're not able to solve it. This is just super bizarre. Yes, we've done that. That was the second thing we did. What?
Time is short, so if that's a solution, you can fix it. I would try it right now.
I don't think it will fix it personally. I mean, that seems to work. Why is the clean blade off now? It was...
The last Boston Dynamics video, we started with cool high-tech beeps and boops first, and then did Foley kind of towards the end. This time, I'm taking a different approach. I'm starting with Foley from square one. That way we have a nice, rich pass of audio. For this one, I'm using a battery-operated drill for the legs. I'm using an electric skateboard for the hips and general movement. You'll hear that, that stuff. It's kind of deeper and bassier, and so it's good for the full body. I'm using RC car steering wheels for like hands and fine detail stuff. It's those tiny squeaks up top. This is what the gun sounds are like without any processing. Oh wow. Sam, are you telling me that's what gun sounds are like before you work your magic on them? Yeah, now the magic happens. Here we go, magic. I was like, I took my tube and I took this thin, skinny piece of audio and I was like, and it blew up into this big, rich sound.
Okay, so even though both myself, Clint, Sam, and Nico, all four of us with our powers combined, couldn't even individually troubleshoot what the problem was. It wasn't a frame rate thing, it wasn't an interpret footage thing, whatever it was, we ended up having to brute force our way through it, which was just a lot of work. But Clint had to go through and render out every single layer as his own individual piece of footage and re-import that into a brand new project file.
Looks like these boys are on track. I mean, do I dare say that and go too far?
No matter what, that video goes out tomorrow. So it's going to have to be finished. Whatever's finished is what goes on the internet tomorrow.
Oh, we're gonna party. We're gonna have to party.
Ren, get in here.
Hey, stop yelling! I can't hear him yelling over here!
We did it. We finally finished Boss Town Dynamics 2. It's time to hit render.
This is the last shot and we're done. Render!
36 minutes. Woo!
It's been a heavy week, which is why we got a heavy beer. This is a keg of homebrewed beer.
That glass is dirty.
Ooh, look at that.
Malty dark malt right there.
Sam, is that multi-dark malt or is that a dark stouty dark?
If you're watching this, just trust us. We're having a great time. Go over and watch the actual video. It's finished. It's on the Quarter channel. There's links everywhere. Go check it out. We'll be here when you come back. Don't worry.
Guys, I won't be. We put so much work into this video. It's like months. Just take 5 minutes, sit down, put on some headphones, enjoy Sam's sound design, enjoy all of our hard VFX work. Great work, everybody. Thank you for the hard work.
The fly's on my head.
If you want to see a video on Sam making beer, subscribe. This is really good. It's like, it's not too bitter or hoppy. It's like Guinness without the wateriness.